I'm afraid I've got some bad news. The stories you've heard of houses selling by $50,000, $60,000, $100,000 above asking are all true. I'll give you the details, plus the April Winnipeg real estate market report, all coming up next.
You're listening to the Bo Knows Real Estate Podcast. Tips and advice for home buyers, sellers, and owners with award-winning RE/MAX agent, Bo Kaufman.
Welcome to episode 153 of Winnipeg's Real Estate Podcast. This is Bo Kaufman, RE/MAX Performance Realty. I'm the residential real estate agent looking after buyers and sellers, houses and condos here in Winnipeg. And today is, we're in mid-April, and the numbers that I'm going to start quoting here are from April 1st. So it's been a couple of weeks, but I double-checked them this morning, and what's happening in our market is truly unique. We have less than half the normal number of listings available at any one time. Last year, for example, around this time, we were touching close to 1,300 houses for sale in Winnipeg, and this morning we have just over 600. All the while that's happening, sales are actually up. So there's a lot of buyer activity happening. I think that's largely due to the really, really low interest rates. But listings just aren't coming to market as quickly and as often and as much as they did in past years. And that, of course, is really heating up the market. So stories you've heard of houses selling for $50,000, $60,000 above asking. I've even had one of my listings go $100,000 above asking. And the asking price was by no means unreasonable. That's just the way it is right now. East St. Paul is seeing some really bizarre bidding wars. Houses going for, again, over $100,000 over asking. So I had an email from a client the other day, somebody who started looking in the fall, then gave up and is coming back into the market. And his email basically said, can we find a house right now? And can you help us find a bargain? Or a good deal, I think was the word. So my answer to him, my honest reply to him is the same I'm going to tell you, is you have to decide whether you want a house right now or whether you want a bargain shop, because those two are not going to happen at the same time. Right now, the market is just super heated. We can't find you a house. I had a buyer looking at putting an offer in last week. The listing was $280,000, and I told my buyer that, you know, in order to get this house, you're probably going to have to offer $330,000. They chose to just leave it at $310,000. They didn't want to go any higher than that. And sure enough, $330,000 would have just taken it. So there are no bargains to be had. There's some nice houses to be had. So if you're looking at buying a house, absolutely give me a call. But just be prepared. You are going to be involved in bidding wars. Another way to look at it is I set up a search for somebody, and in their search results, there was 40 houses, and 37 of them were new listings. In other words, they had not hit offers date yet. 3 had gone past that date, and there's likely a reason for that. And that is the house may be leaning a little bit, or it may smell, or there may be structural issues, or whatever the case may be. 37 out of the 40 hadn't hit the offers date yet, and in all likelihood are going to sell immediately. So as I do every month, let's take a look at what the market report says for April 2021. So what we do is we look at how many houses are available, houses and condos are available on April 1st, and how many sold the previous month, and then compare it to other months and past years. So let's start with a look at the overall housing market as it appeared on April 1st this year. Available houses, this is complete, all price ranges. On April 1st, we have 615 houses for sale in Winnipeg. That's up slightly from the previous month, which was 577. But check out last year. Last year, April 1st, we had 1,249 houses on the market. So we have slightly less than half of the available homes this year. At the same time, let's look at what's happening for sales. So for the month of March this year, we sold 922 confirmed sales of houses in Winnipeg. That's all prices. Add another 124 which are currently pending, which means that they are just subject to some condition either by the buyer or by the seller. But those, the vast majority of those will finalize, which means a total sales in the month of March of 1,046 houses sold. 1,046 compared to 620 last month, and 607 during the same period last year. So we've got half as many houses for sale, but about 75% more sales. So you can see what that does. You can imagine what that does to the market. So let's break that down into the different price ranges. Let's start with houses under $250,000, entry-level homes in Winnipeg. And on April 1st, we have 144 of those available. That's up slightly from last month of 135. But compared to last year, April 1st last year, we had 314 of these homes available on the market. And again, looking at sales, for the month of March, we sold 161 plus another 37 potential, makes that 198 potential sales. Up from 127 in February this year and up from 135 the same time period last year. What does that do to inventory days? Remember here, the lower the number, the hotter the market. So last year we were at 77 days. A month ago we were at 32 days, and right now we're at 22 days. Very, very low indeed. As big a difference as this is, we will see an even more drastic change in the price range above this. Looking at the price range of $250,000 to $500,000 and starting with available listings right now. April 1st, we have 273, which is up marginally from the 249 last month. But again, less than half of the 600 that were available last year, same time period. And again, listings are down, but sales are way up. During the month of March, we sold 586 houses in this price range, plus another 62 that were pending right now, makes a total potential sales of 648. 648 compared to 396 the previous month and 397 last year, same time period. And you can see what that does to inventory levels. Last year, we were at 57 days, last month at 20. This month, for the month of March, we are at 13 days of inventory. That is the lowest by far that I've ever seen. What that really means is that if nobody listed their houses anymore, it would take only 13 days to sell everything that's out there and run completely out of available homes. Now, this is a mathematical equation. It's not reality because there are some houses that may not sell, or some houses just don't sell. But mathematically, it could all sell out in 13 days. So let's start by taking a look at the overall condo market in Winnipeg, starting with available units. April 1st, we had 463 condos in all price ranges available in Winnipeg. That's up slightly from the 431 on March 1st. But check against last year, same time last year, we had 615. So just like houses, available units is down, not as much as it is in houses, but it is down. Looking at condo sales over time, way up. During the month of March this year, we sold 160 units with another 57 pending. That's a potential sale of 217 units. That's up from the 188 in February, but check it against last year where we only sold 89 during the month of March. So 89 last year, 217 this year. It would seem to me that buyers, especially perhaps first-time buyers, are seeing condos as an option, as an alternative into getting into the housing market, into the home ownership market, because houses are simply just going nuts right now, especially in the lower price ranges. Let's start by taking a look at condos under $250,000. April 1st, we have 259 on the market in Winnipeg. That's up slightly from 232 the previous month, but it's way down from the 342 we had for sale last year, April 1st. And similar to houses, sales are up. During the month of March, we sold 87 condos in this price range, with another 37 potentially sold. Makes it a total of 124 most likely sold. 124 compared to 106 during the month of February this year. And check out last year, the month of March last year, we sold 42 in this price range. So we've tripled the sales of condos. And I, for one, believe that that's a result of house prices in these lower price ranges just going out of reach for many of the first-time home buyers. People are seeing that condos do present a great alternative for getting into the real estate market. And now let's look at condos over $250,000. And unlike houses, I am not segregating this into $250,000 to $500,000. I'm just saying any condo over $250,000 all the way up to the $1 million units. Currently available, we have 204 condos that are priced $250,000 and more. That's up just slightly from the 199 from last month, but it's still way down, about 25% down from the 273 units we had for sale last year, same time. And once again, sales are way up. Condos over $250,000, we sold 73 during the month of March, with another 20 that are pending, so 93 potential sales, up from 81 the previous month and up from 25 last year in March 2020. So 93 this year, 25 last year. Big difference. And what that does to our inventory levels, you can see here last year we were at 339 days. Right now we're at 68 days. For condos, I've been doing this for a long time. Condos, that is incredibly fast. So it's even a good time to list and sell condos right now. I do hope you've enjoyed this presentation and found it useful. I've also got a little announcement. I've started producing online publications. These are really neat. They're easy to read on any device, and they're multimedia, so they include audio, video, charts, graphs, everything. And they're really easy to get to. Just go to bonos.homes/news. bonos.homes/news. And the publications are all there, including the latest market updates, special reports on certain condos or houses. And that collection right now is at about 8 magazines, and it'll grow over time. So please check it out. And I'd like to give a shout out to a brand new charity thrift store. That's Annie's Attic Thrift Store and Cat Cafe at 1560 Main Street in Winnipeg. Spacious, clean, well laid out store with everything from new and gently used clothing and shoes to household goods, small appliances, toys, and pet supplies. Inside, enjoy some great tasting coffee with fabulous baked goods from Michelle's Cakes while you visit with the furry four-legged friends in the cat room. 100% of proceeds go to support Darcy's Animal Rescue Center, which helps save nearly 1,000 cats and dogs each year in our city. When you're in the neighborhood, come check out Annie's Attic Thrift Store and Cat Cafe, open daily from 11 to 6, except Sundays when they're closed. That's at 1560 Main Street, and please tell them both sent you. Well, I hope you've enjoyed listening to this episode as much as I've enjoyed creating it, because I really do love it. If you found the information helpful, why not download my free podcasting app? That way you never miss another episode. And I've made it super simple too. Just go to bonos.homes/apps. That's APPS. Available for Apple and Android devices. And finally, please give this podcast a 5-star rating. Again, we've made it super simple. Just go to lovethepodcast.com/bonos. Thank you so much for listening. Let's do this again next week.